Well, Shemi Ajayi, Super Eagles defender, speaking there ahead of that clash for the World Cup qualifiers against Bafana Bafana of South Africa. Expectation and the morale is high. Well, with that, we welcome you to Kickoff Sports Show this morning. My name is OLADAPO Kunubi, aka Young Striker 9. This morning, we'll talk more of the qualifiers, same as countdown to Euro 2024, going down in Germany. Well, our jerseys are still on ground. A lot of people tried yesterday, but failed in the questions. Well, this morning, remember, I gave you an expo yesterday that we will be looking at a particular team this morning. I hope you've done your research well. And, well, maybe we add yesterday's jersey to today's jersey, so we should be expecting two jerseys to go out this morning. And when the two jerseys are gone, then we can see if we can add up or top up with airtime and data. Remember, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, Solutions 93.9 FM. And remember to like, follow, share, subscribe this morning. All right, now let's go straight and look at updates coming from the world of tennis this morning. Talk NBA, and we'll look at with a countdown to Olympics.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Now, talking tennis this morning, check your time right now. Russian teenager Mira Andreeva claimed the biggest win of her career against an out-of-sorts Arina Sabalenka to reach the semi-finals of the French Open, wrapping up a 6-7, 6-4, 6-4 win. The 17-year-old is the youngest Grand Slam semi-finalist since Martina Hingis at the US Open in 1997. Well, for Andreeva, her plan wasn't even to win the semi-final, but to be at her best.
I would say that I didn't really expect me playing semi-finals tomorrow. I played Gracheva a few days ago, and I was like, well, if I win the match, I'll be in quarterfinals. But then if I play Sabalenka, and if I win, I can be in semifinals. Wow, that could be a dream. And I will be playing semifinals tomorrow, and so my thoughts are kind of they kind of came true. So I didn't. If we look back, I wouldn't expect myself playing semifinals, because that was just kind of a dream for me in the beginning of the tournament. But now I will be playing semifinals, so I gotta prepare for the match already. I would say that I always play the way I want to play. I don't have we have a plan with my coach for the match, but after I forget everything, and when I play a match and I don't have any thoughts in my head, so maybe I would say that my strength could be that I just play how I want to play, and I do whatever I want to do, and maybe this helps me when I play.
That was the teenage tennis star Mira Andreeva after a victory over Arina Sabalenka. Remember, also yesterday, Jasmine Paolini defeated Elena Rybakina 6-2, 4-6, 6-4. And looking at her semi-final game today for Mira Andreeva, will be taking on Jasmine Paolini by 4 p.m. But earlier before that time, by 2 o'clock, Iga Swiatek will take on Corey Goff. Is going to be a tough one in that end. Well, another man who also took the world by storm, not really by storm, but also showed what he's good at, is Alexander Zverev beating Alex de Minaur. Germany's Alexander Zverev reached the French Open semi-final for the 4th consecutive year by seeing off the spirited challenge of Australia's Alex de Minaur. Well, for Zverev, he has another chance to reach the Roland Garros final after missing out in each of the past 3 years. But, well, it feels it's getting better.
No, I mean, luckily I have a coach who is my father, who couldn't care less how I feel on the practice court. So since I'm 3 years old, I was always, okay, run here, run there, run for 4 hours straight. And he sometimes forgets that I'm 2 meters tall and I can hit a serve 230 kilometers an hour. But he definitely taught me the Spanish way, running for everything, putting the balls back in the court. And, sometimes it pays off. I wish I would be more aggressive sometimes, but if I'm winning, I'm happy. And I'm in the semifinals, and that's all that matters. Everybody in the press and everybody keeps on asking me, what do I do for recovery? And my answer is always very simple. You don't recover after matches, you recover in the off-season, and you do the work in the off-season. That tennis becomes easy. And I think for me, I have a mindset that you have to work harder than everyone else to be the best player. And I think the best players are all doing that. For me, I like to work to my absolute limit. And if I do that, then playing 5 sets all of a sudden is not that difficult. And
well, for Alexander Zverev, he will take in Casper Ruud in his next game, while Carlo Alcaraz, the Spaniard, will be up against Jannik Sinner all tomorrow in that tough encounter. Moving away from tennis this morning, and let us look at what is happening in the world of basketball. Ahead of appearing in his second NBA Finals tonight, Celtics star Jason Tatum was asked if there is a different level of pressure playing for a franchise that is attempting to claim the NBA record 18th championship banner this month. Well, never hesitated to give an answer. However, Tatum and Celtic are more than familiar with the pressure that comes with playing three, particularly after knocking on the door so often over the past several years. Since the start of the 2017 playoffs, the Celtics have reached the Eastern Conference Finals 6 times and are appearing in the league's championship round for a second time in 3 years. Let us see how it goes. Talking about the NBA final more, and who will be looking better. Remember, it is tonight in the US, but tomorrow morning here in Nigeria, 1:30 a.m. But you get the latest and updates from that end on the Kick-Off Sports Show for the Friday edition. Now let's talk about Nigerian team. The Nigeria Basketball Federation (NBBF) has invited 20 players for first phase training camp for the Tigers in preparation for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The invited players expected to arrive Abuja, Nigeria on Friday, 7th June 2024 for the first phase of the training for the Summer Games. And according to updates, players from the Nigerian Customs, First Bank, Mountain of Fire and Dolphins made 20-player list. Now looking at what Nigeria will be facing at the tournament, the invited players looking at Nigeria and who Nigeria will be facing in the Group B. Nigeria is in the Group B alongside host France, Australia and Canada at the 2024 Olympic Games. Now let us count down more, talking about Olympics and what is happening, most especially on the continent of Africa. Okay, well, as we count down to Olympics, two-time gold medalist Helen Glover is set to compete in the 4th Olympics after being selected for Paris 2024. After having 3 children, the 37-year-old who won gold in 2012 and 2016 came out of retirement to race at Tokyo 2020 and the summer of 2021 and finished 4th in the women's pairs. She will race in the women's 4, while Tokyo 2020 silver medalist Tom Barras turns in men's quadruple scores. Well, for Kenya's 10-kilometer road race world record holder Ronex Kapruto has been banned for 6 years because of irregularities found in his athlete's biological passport. The 24-year-old will be stripped of his record, which he set in Valencia in 2020, and 10,000-meter bronze medal he won at the 2019 World Championships. He will be banned until May 2029 after being provisionally suspended on the 11th of May 2023 for violating anti-doping rules. So, no Olympics for him. Alright, check the time right now. It is 9:11 from Solutions 93.9 FM, your Remedy Radio dial. And we move to the other side where we talk football from the local to the foreign scene. Well, we're already getting messages on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 93.9 FM. Someone is saying, let's Facebook people. Okay, let me see. Let's Facebook people win Jesse too. Try the calls. And we'll see. Well, if you're on Facebook, let us see how good you are. Well, remember the first rule of the show is called the phone lines. Now let us see how smart you are. Still Kick Off Sports Show, live on Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
I know a place where the land is greener and diversity brings beauty, just like the rainbow.
TY Mix.
It's hard to replace such a good feeling when the news of unity fills the air while the wind blows.
Super Eagles, no tension. You are winning by the grace of God. You shall win, you shall win, you shall win. Sawa, 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 sawa. No matter who you be, Eagles always go. One goal, two goal, three goal, four goal. No matter who you be, Eagles always go. One goal, two goal, three goal.
Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria this morning. Remember, you heard Shemi Ajayi talking about what he expects against South Africa and the clash going down tomorrow. Remember, Maduka Okoye already joined the team yesterday, so 23 players already in camp with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. However, you remember some of the players, the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho, Wilfred Ndidi, have been complaining, not having a complete team going to the game against South Africa and Benin Republic, talking about preparations due to the nationwide strike and backed upon by the organized labor having the TUC NLC on Monday, but was called off on Tuesday. Today is Thursday, just like less than 24 hours to that game going down in Uyo. But for Kelechi Iheanacho, remember, it didn't have enough game at the Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, but believes now a lot of Nigerians now believe in the Super Eagles of Nigeria and they're ready to show the stuff they've made of against South Africa and Benin Republic.
I think obviously people are starting now to believe more. Obviously we have a good squad, good players, so it's just for the fans to have patience and just sit down and watch the kind of football we play. So, but yeah, obviously it was a good one at AFCON and we nearly lifted the trophy. But obviously we live and learn. So we've learned from the competition and hopefully we'll be there next time and hopefully we'll do the job. But yeah, it's a good preparation for us now. I think we have a long way to go now, so 2 games coming up, and hopefully we'll win those games, and it will help us to get up in the table to be the number 1 candidate for the World Cup in our group. Then we'll see what will happen in the World Cup. But first of all, we have to concentrate on the match on Friday, so we get that done and done.
Leicester City 4, Super Eagles man Kelechi Iheanacho speaking there. Now, talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, it is more of the focus. Well, Maduka Okoye arrived at the Super Eagles camp ahead of the Group C 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic. But will he be getting that chance of being in the safe hands of the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Well, let's talk about Benin Republic this morning. The team will be without Bulgaria-based defender Olivier Vedran for their Group C 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Nigeria's Super Eagles in Rwanda due to injury. The 28-year-old France-born player was expected to join his teammates in Côte d'Ivoire last Sunday ahead of the doubleheader against Rwanda and Nigeria. Well, now let's count down to Euro 2024. One man has been dropped from the Three Lions of England squad.
Can't work the shot beyond Dan Burn. Pass away by Pope was a poor one. Madison with trickery. And then a fine finish up into the top corner. And the mistake from Nick Pope is punished in style by Spurs number 10, James Madison.
Well, for James Madison, but not be included in England's 26-man squad for Euro 2024. The Tottenham midfielder was called up by Gary Southgate to the provisional 33-man selection. I don't know the luck that is against James Madison. Well, remember, he was invited to World Cup, but not really getting that playing time. But he's also one of the 7 players to be cut out of Gary Southgate's lineup. Going into the 2022 World Cup. Did not even also make appearance at the 2022 World Cup though. But for James Madison, never had good playing time in Tottenham Hotspur due to injuries. But let us wait to see how it can look like. Okay, now talking about our friendly games decided yesterday and what some of the players are also focusing on this tonight as well. Let's look at now some games. Well, remember, I told you that I'll be supporting Belgium at the Euro 2024. I don't know the team you'll be supporting at the Euro 2024, right? But let's look at some of the results. Slovakia defeated San Marino 4-0. Denmark defeated Sweden 2-1. Norway bashed Kosovo 3-0. While my Belgium defeated Montenegro 2-0. France defeated Luxembourg 3-0 with Kylian Mbappe, the new Real Madrid forward, getting an assist and a goal. Spain battered, whitewashed Andorra 5-0 in your game yesterday. Now talking about games going down today. Well, for games going down today, Wales, Gibraltar will battle each other by 5 p.m. today, while Netherlands will battle Canada in a friendly encounter. Well, Gibraltar, Wales are not at the Euros. All right, now let's count down and let's look at the team profile before we start playing the game this morning. This is the team profile of Croatia.
Croatia, appearing in the 7th edition of the European Football Tournament, would like to better their last 2 appearances where they ended their tournament dreams. In the round of 16 stage, coach Zlatko Dalic and captain Luka Modric will want to take it a notch higher in Germany, where their dream is to lift the title for the first time. Croatia, also known as the Veterani, will face Spain, Italy and Albania in the Group B pairings.
Check your time, it is 9:20 from Solutions 93.9 FM. Let's go straight and play the game. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. You can as well call 0904-422-2939. Let's see the first person to call into the studio this morning, and you answer the question. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, we lost that. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939, 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ojo.
What is your name and where are you calling from? Your name.
My name is Emmanuel from Ojo.
Emmanuel what? Is it Emmanuel Ebue?
Emmanuel Idowu from Ojo.
Emmanuel Idowu from Ojo. You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what country will you be supporting at the Euros?
England.
England. Okay, so you've got 5 seconds. Croatia is in Group B of the Euro 2024. Mention the 3 other teams in that Group B with Croatia.
I don't know to.
You listen to the team profile, right? And I told you guys to go check. Do your research before coming on the show. Emmanuel, you can try and call back tomorrow. Let's allow other people call in. 0909 888 9939. 0909 888 9939. Well, Croatia is in Group B alongside Spain, Italy, Albania. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Damola calling from Mukiado.
Your name again?
Damola calling from Mukiado.
Eniola calling from Mukiado?
Damilola.
Oh, Damilola what?
The Adeniji.
Damilola Deniji. Okay, so you ready to play the game?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Did you call it? Did you call yesterday?
Yeah, I called yesterday, but I didn't.
You did not win. Okay, let us see. What country will you be supporting?
Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Team Ronaldo. Okay, so this is the question. Who is the captain of the Croatian national team? Captain. You have 5 seconds.
Luka Modric.
Luka Modric, your final answer?
Yeah.
And you just won yourself a brand new jersey on the show this morning. Congratulations. What's your name again?
Adeniji Damilola.
Adeniji Damilola, all the way from Okado, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so make it down to the station. Well, we've got a Croatian jersey for you. Hope you'll be able to rock that one, Abby.
Yeah, I love it.
You rock Croatia jersey. Congratulations. Remember, while coming, come with a means of identification.
No problem.
All right, thank you very much. Let's see who's ready to win another jersey this morning. 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. We're still counting down to Euro 2024 on the show this morning. Now let's go straight to another national team this morning as we count down. This is the team profile of Spain.
Spain. 3-time champions Spain, following their incredible run in the 2008 and 2012 edition back-to-back, fell short of themselves as they finished in the 3rd place spot at the 2020 edition. Luis de la Fuente's sides will be hoping for a record-breaking 4th Euro win in Germany. They are currently level with the host on 3 triumphs. The LAFENWA will open the Group B of the European tournament against Croatia, then face Italy and Albania.
0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939, 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939. Adeniji Damilola Bola, I just want a jersey. Well, we say congratulations to you. Jalal, share anything? Simple question. We asked simple question also yesterday, but all of you got it wrong. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm George from Dubai.
John.
George.
Okay, George from Dubai.
Yes.
You called yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what country will you be supporting at the Euros?
Portugal.
Portugal people now. Wow. All right, so what position did Croatia finish at the last Euros?
They finished in round 16.
They finished in the round of 16.
Yes, sir.
Your final answer.
Yes,
You still have opportunity.
It's my final answer.
Sir?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir.
What's your name again?
George from Dubai.
John or George?
George, as in George.
George, if you had said the group stage, you would have been wrong, but round of 16, you got it right. George is also won yourself a brand new jersey, but that will not be a Portugal jersey, but you have a national team jersey you can come claim today. Please remember, do you know where the station is?
I don't know.
Okay, so we are located at 100 Obafemi Awolowo, that is okay, Ado. Aweni House.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations, George. All right, 0909-888-9939, Well, let's talk more. Update on the show this morning. Fenerbahce saying new coach Jose Mourinho is set to earn 10.5 million euros. That is approximately $11.4 million a year in salary after he agreed on a 2-year deal. Fenerbahce reviewed the figures on a declaration to inform the stock market on Wednesday, 3 days after the storied Turkish club presented Mourinho to thousands of fans at the stadium. Now talking about manager, Igor Tudor has resigned from his role as a Lazio coach after less than 3 months in charge of the Serie A side. Okay, remember, for Napoli, were confirmed that Antonio Conte will be the manager of the club for next season. Chelsea will turn down any loan moves to Romelu Lukaku this summer in a bid to sell the Belgium striker and a permanent deal. Finally, Borussia Dortmund will only attempt to bring Jadon Sancho back to the club if Manchester United make him available on loan again. All right, let us hold it here. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Congratulations to the two winners of our jerseys this morning. Tomorrow morning is another time on the Kickoff Sports Show, the first half of AM update as we count down to Euro 2024. Coming up next is from the Dailies. Adedamola LAFENWA on that side with FAVOUR Olorontola. My name is OLADAPO Okunobi. Good morning! Let's be dynamic with your morning update and make it better with Kickoff Sports Show, where we will be serving you all the latest from tennis, basketball, Formula One, football, exclusive interviews, and lots more.
Hamilton going for the move on Alonso at the 130. These two great side by side.
Martinelli! Oh yes! Gabriel Martinelli is back with a bang!
Headlines from Nigerian newspapers, behind the papers from the stands, analysis on burning trending issues across Nigeria and beyond.
The problem is not politics or tribalism, but corruption. The governors will say, give us our own slot. The chairman of local government will say, give us our own slot. Who does those slots go to? Your friend, they arrest you, they detain you, and they release you. That's all.
Hello, my name is OLADAPO Okunobi.
My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
My name is Adedamola LAFENWA.
And my name is FAVOUR Olorontola.
Join us weekdays 9 a.m. on your Remedy Radio dial, Solutions 939 FM.
Here, we make it different from the norm.
I tell you, it's a black and white affair this morning. People are looking all white, and Adida LAFENWA looking all black. You're making me remember when we were in school and we used to play. You know, when you play acting some plays, and someone has to play the good person, the angel, and the other person has to play.
Well, you're trying to say, although I'm putting on white, I have a mixture of the bad and the good.
I wasn't actually looking at that. Actually, I'm strictly looking at the dresses we put on this morning. Okay, it's 9:32. The Solutions 939 FM. It's a good thing to be here again this morning to take you through the papers this morning on AM Update. This morning I have the Punch newspaper as well as the Nigerian Tribune newspaper with me.
All right, I have the Nation newspaper and I have got the Nigerian Tribune with me this morning. It's a pleasure to be here again. Well, on the Nation newspaper, it's more of advertorial, but there are just about a few headlines here. El-Rufai Ford's report of alleged 432 billion naira fraud. Lawmakers send findings of pro-panel to anti-graft agencies. Court orders forfeiture of 11 billion naira properties linked to Emefiele. SAN lists 86 standards for CNG buses. Others. RMAFCOK's federal government sued on council autonomy. And that is all I can take from the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay, looking at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, starting from the cap headlines. No merger talks with any party, PDP. That story is found on page 3. Nigeria's current account balance records 1.43 billion naira surplus, IMF. Page 6. Court orders forfeiture of 11.14 billion naira choice property linked to Emefiele. I mean, when the civil servant is having a huge amount of
the civil servant holding a very high position in government as well.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So we
Interesting.
Can still hold it.
And that is just some of the properties
some.
owned. Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Looking at the front page, the biggest story of the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, alleged money laundering. El-Rufai kicks as Kaduna Assembly wants its government tried. Page 4. U.S. Congress members call for Biden's intervention in Binance executive Tigran Gambarian's detention in Abuja. Okay, police arraigned 25 suspects for alleged murder of Ajayi Crowther University students. Have you been following the story of a student that was being lynched by a group of students at Ajayi Crowther University for allegedly stealing a phone? Quite pathetic. Gunmen kill 5 in fresh Plateau attack. Page 16. Senators disagree over proposed Animal Husbandry Ranches Commission. These and many more stories are found on the pages of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
All right, on the Vanguard newspaper, there is this. FG's failure to make fresh office stores wage talks. You see page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper as Labour hits back at Akpabio over allegation of economic sabotage. Says real saboteurs are political elites looting, abusing power. Urges patriotic National Assembly members to disown Senate President. Nigerians need living wage, not minimum wage. Reps condemn Labour for shutting down National Grid. All the stories, you can see them on the page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now moving down to the newspaper this morning. Government plans 6.6 trillion naira supplementary budget to fast-track economic growth. To unbundle, commercialize TCN, ASAP recommends 20 executive orders to fast-track economy. U.S. lawmakers petition Biden, says Biden's executive wrongfully detained in Nigeria. Well, Moving to the top of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, oil prices drop below budget benchmark as output stagnates. Edoguba, why some politicians are angry with Obaseki. That's a statement from Martins. Ighodalo's opponents running out of campaign ideas. PDP chieftain. Kaduna Assembly El-Rufai tango over alleged diversion of 432 billion naira. This and many more you will find on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right, on the Punch newspaper this morning, Tinubu may suspend import duties on food, drugs. That story is found on page 2. Senate okay 60 million naira salary for CJN, Supreme Court justices. Page 29. Heritage Bank, NDIC goes after 700 billion naira loan defaulters, lists 2.3 million depositors, and 423 billion naira theft. El-Rufai kicks as Kaduna Assembly orders probe. And the biggest story on the front page of the Punch newspaper: minimum wage. Finance Minister submits template to Tinubu today. Tripartite committee awaits template to resume negotiation 2 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, that story found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Customs intercept 3.9 billion naira pangolin seals in Kebbi. $413,000 bribery. Ganduje to get charges through newspapers. Okay, 25 suspected killers of Oyo Varsity student arraigned. Page 5. And the last one I'll be taking, it says a crude supply shortage. Foreign investors may dump 20 modular refineries. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning. The time is 9:39 on 939 Solutions FM. In a short while, we shall be linking up with Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe to run some analysis on some of the stories we've read to you listening. Stay tuned. It's AM Update.
On your remedy radio dial 939. Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe, good morning to you.
Good morning, my dear comrade sister. It is the 6th day of the 6th month.
6/6 2024. A great date. All right, let's look at the wage minimum wage saga so far. Now, as been put by the Vanguard newspaper this morning, FG's failure to make fresh offers stalls wage talks. And I want to take one of the riders as Labour hits back at Akpabio over allegation of economic sabotage. Now, looking at Godwill Akpabio in recent times, I know that we've spoken about some of his utterances in the last 1 year, ever since he assumed office as the Senate President. Now, he had an attack, a verbal attack on the Labour a few days ago, saying that Labour is doing nothing but engaging themselves in economic sabotage. Let's take it from there.
Well, the Senate president, that is putting it brutally. You know, there are extant laws, guiding labor relations. And the subsisting law in Nigeria is the Labor Act of 2004 as amended. I read through it again. Though, I think we talked about this a few days back. That those who are on critical services cannot go on strike. And they say they have a right to go on strike. But the law of the land says so. You've forgotten the NEPA, it used to be NEPA. Under Babangida, they were sentenced to life imprisonment for plunging the nation into darkness. They call it economic sabotage. I think it was a little bit amended. And it was amended, I think it's 18 years now, under Miscellaneous Offences Tribunal. So, and there's a subsisting court order too, you understand? But the labor people said they too will not obey any law that is not in their interest, since the federal government too was obeying court orders. Can you imagine? Are we in a jungle? Can you imagine? Even Buhari in his days went to the bar conference in Port Harcourt. The theme of that bar conference that year was the rule of law. And he said rule of law will be subject to national security. Who defines national security? You understand? So that is the jungle in which we operate. But you see, Akpabio is after the president and the vice president, is next in line in the line of succession. Akpabio is no longer governor of his state. He is the number 3 man in the line of succession. He should be less flippant. He should be a bit more discreet. You know, we have had Senate presidents. David Mark hardly ever talk. You understand?
Yes.
So you could hardly pin him down. David Mark, he spent 2 times there. You will hardly ever talk. He got things done. And Saraki, Saraki, the sort of a politician.
Yeah.
Trained. Well,
yeah. He had a way of maneuvering. He had a way of maneuvering.
Exactly. Believe you me, those are the key words. He had a way of maneuvering.
Yeah.
He maneuvered himself. So I probably should learn from all these gentlemen the way they maneuvered. It should be less flippant. If Akpabio is not careful, Akpabio will be sacrificed. Akpabio will be sacrificed on the altar of second term. Watch out. So Akpabio should be less flippant. We shouldn't be talking.
Okay, let's talk about the response of Labour to Akpabio, saying that the real saboteurs are political elites looting and abusing power. That was the response. Labour.
Akpabio came into the village square to dance naked, so he will be flogged. He will be flogged. You don't come to the village square to dance naked. If a chief comes to the village, he will be flogged and shamed. So, you see, those who live in glass houses, they don't throw stones. They don't throw stones. How can the Senate president, a politician who has been governor for 8 years, who is under serious investigation, who should never have come into the Senate, who should never become what he eventually became? But of course, compromises here and there. And of course, they have the sort of Damocles dancing on his head. Say, do this, he has to do this, and he has no immunity. So, how can you, under investigation, 80-something billion, that's the investigation going on about Akpabio, and it's calling some people economic saboteurs. When they are fighting for, they won't get 100,000. That's what they are fighting for. And you are calling them economic saboteurs. And you are under investigation for stealing or diverting 85 billion. You understand? So people are, look, you will see what will happen in this country. It may take some time. You will see people will take charge of their affairs. I give it another 3 years. People's consciousness, you know, there's this scriptural story that a father gave blessings wrongly to a child he did not want to. But when that child came, he said, Daddy, give me blessings. He said, that's the only blessing I have to give. And then what is going to happen now? And the father said, when the yoke, when the yoke is too much for you, you will shake it off. So that is, I liken Nigeria's case to that. When the yoke it becomes too much, people will shake it off.
Now, okay, you want to say something?
Yes,
Okay.
I wanted to go to still on the minimum wage on the Punch newspaper this morning. It's looking as though there is going to be a breath of fresh air as the finance minister submitted a template to, he will be submitting a template to Tinubu today. Let's just analyze that. Plus, the tripartite committee are waiting, resuming negotiation 2 p.m. today. Let's see, is this going to put a smile on Labour finally, or is just going to be another deadlock?
Look, the federal government is just doing tactical maneuvering. They know where they are headed.
I wanted to say, is it not the way of buying time? Because now submitting template, they have not even agreed on a particular figure. So what template is the finance minister working with?
What template?
The same template that Tinubu ordered for.
You are going, my dear comrade brother and sister, when you are going into negotiation, you go with several templates. If it is 50, this is what it's going to look like. If it is 150,
yes.
You know, all these templates, you should have had those templates. Not that they will go and bring template. What template? It's a tactical maneuvering. It will lead nowhere. Okay, the agreement Labour signed with federal government that we all read like this. They said federal government has committed to above 60,000. What does that mean? What's the meaning of that?
Because no particular figure. I think there should be a figure. A figure should have been agreed upon for the finance minister to go and do work on the template and see how workable it will be.
And Labour came out to say they have an agreement. Is that an agreement? An agreement that does not specify nothing. Even the issue of tariff is not included in that agreement. You understand? So that is off the table. That is off the table. That's what they are saying. And they say they give them 5 days. They should work 5 days. Are they working 5 days? They didn't work. They didn't work yesterday.
And out of the 5 days, about 2 days have gone now.
This is the third day.
Okay, the agreement, the MOU that they signed in October last year. What happened to it? MOU, almost with the force of the law. What happened to it? Labour is not strategic. Labour is not doing the needful, and the problem is NLC. In fact, the problem actually is Joe Ajaero. You understand? NLC is organized. You will see that TUC is a lot more organized and strategic in their approach. In TUC leadership, what I hear from them off record is that they would rather go after government and say, let us cut costs of governance. Let us put this and this in place. Then we can now negotiate wage increase in the context of what you have put in place. Look, they won't get, okay, minimum used to be 30. Federal government is paying 35,000 Abi. Or they're paying 35,000.
Yes.
What is addition Abi? That puts that 65. They are not going to do more than 70, or they are actually going to do that 65. Federal government will not do any night you. They won't do any ATU. Nothing. Nothing is going to happen because they are very rigid about it.
Okay,
and then
you feel federal government won't do anything above 70.
30 plus 35, that's 65. They will add 5,000 on top of it. I don't think they will do anything more than that. That is more than 100% now. And then who is going to pay? When we get to the state government has said, we are not going to pay you. We are not going to pay you. So, and then they will say, okay, you want us to pay. Because the Labour people have said they're going to fight and battle the governors to a standstill. That it is a law that must be implemented. And the governors are saying behind it, okay, it's a law that must be implemented. And then we'll be retrenching.
Definitely.
So what are you going to do? Are petrol stations going to be paying 75 at minimum? As medium-scale enterprises, don't even talk about small-scale. Are medium-scale enterprises going to be paying? Any organization with more than, I think, 10 or 25 people have to comply. Will they pay? Can they even pay? You understand? What is the margin on a liter of petrol? And then there are other overheads. And then you can add to the fact that consumption has gone down. Consumption has gone down.
Okay. So, well, probably we should just keep our fingers crossed because there will be the negotiation will continue today by 2 p.m. when the federal government is believed to give out their offer.
Labour will be finally put to shame when they agree, because they will have no explanation to offer. They will have to bury their heads in shame from 1 million.
When they agree to what?
They will agree. They will agree to whatever federal government insists. You will see.
But do we now say Labour will be put to shame? I mean, probably Labour is just trying to be reasonable. I mean, if you are saying that,
were they reasonable when they were quoting 1 million? Probably they knew they were going to agree to 70,000. Were they reasonable when they were quoting 650? Were they reasonable when they were quoting 497?
Probably they used the business angle to it. The tactics that the market women will do. Because we know that they'll be bargaining.
The argument of Labour was premised on the dollar. They said in 19X, the naira to the dollar exchange rate was this. You cannot premise I think we had this conversation sometime last week.
Yes,
that
we did.
In Nigeria, in Ibadan, I will buy a cup, two pieces of a cup. That is 200 naira. I will buy akara 50 for one. If I buy 300, that is 500 naira. Turn 500 at the current exchange. How much is 500 naira in the US dollar? Is it up to 10 cents? Will you get a cup of coffee? Will you get a cup of coffee in New York for 10 cents?
At all.
So that the premise for their argument is illogical and totally irrational. So it was faulty from the beginning. It was faulty.
All right, let's move away from labor issues now, because let's just keep our fingers crossed and see what will come out later today. But I want us to take a trip to Kaduna, where there is a kind of a tussle going on between the Kaduna State Assembly and former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, because the Assembly has determined to probe the administration, the AT administration of El-Rufai, and El-Rufai is kicking that nothing, they can't do anything. Now, okay. do we now say because El-Rufai is seeing it as a way of what do they call it now? Vendetta, what do they call it now? I mean, payback. I mean, witch hunting. That he did nothing, but the Assembly is claiming that 423 billion naira were diverted.
Those are terrible, serious allegations against El-Rufai. El-Rufai has been in Nigeria's public space for a very long time, since the days of what do they call that thing that Buhari headed? He was involved. He was involved. PTF, yes, PTF. He was a consultant. The colleague Salijo, that man died the day he was going to give evidence. That was the day he died. But somehow, El-Rufai escaped the whole thing. He came back as minister. Now, and he wrote he's a public servant, and wrote a lot of terrible things about Atiku Abubakar that brought him into the limelight. Now, you see, politics is a deadly transaction. You understand?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that Atiku has been trying to subvert the president because he was not made a minister? He has been going to the offices of Labour and which other party again? I think he visited some parties. You understand? Posturing, as if he was going to be opposition. You see, when you live in Glasgow, you don't grow, so you have been governor for 8 years. The new governor of Kaduna State is not PDP, he's APC. And he was the one that installed him. If he didn't want him, he wouldn't have been the candidate. And if you are not candidate, you cannot win an election. So he was the one that installed the man. Well, you see, the problem is that Rufai, because he was not made minister, for reasons best known to the president, he's going around posturing as if he's preparing for 2027. Well, if you are preparing for 2027, then you will be engaged. You will be engaged in a war of attrition when you have local battles.
But what could have gone wrong between a government he put in place and in a spate of how many months now? For the government to be saying that they're coming.
It is a matter of interest. Where does the man's interest lie? Does his interest lie with El-Rufai, or lies with Buhari, or lies with Tinubu? Where does his interest lie? It's a game of interest. The man has put him in office. It's a race. You have handed over the battle. You have run your own race. The man is running in his own race the way he understands how to run it. You understand? So And all these are our governors. There is no way, let me make it abundantly clear, there is no way any of the governors is subjected to scrutiny. They will not come out clean. It is as straightforward as that.
Why?
They will not look, except probably Baba Ghana Zulu. And maybe probably Baba Ghana Zulu. Honestly. Because when the man was commissioner for rehabilitation, they probed the man. The man was still driving a Toyota 504 and he was not pretending. You know that a few people like that. So now, you see, even if you don't want to get involved, contractors and civil servants will put you in trouble. Because if you are clean, they know that is trouble for them. So they want to smear you with some of the oil.
With the debt,
so that if they are saying they have told you, the governor is involved. You understand? So that is a game of interest. You see, Rufai didn't have to do what he was doing, posturing and going around visiting party headquarters as if he was posturing for 2027. Barely 6 months into the administration of Tinubu, that he worked hard to put in office, and simply because he was not made minister. And those who said he should not be made minister, they said he's not a reliable ally. You understand? That was the accusation against him. Brilliant man, who he already had a template. The president nominated him. The president had called him that he will be power minister, and he had developed a 7-year plan, power plan for Nigeria to get us out of darkness. But politics overtook national interest. They said Rufai is a dangerous man. Who, if you put him in office, he's unreliable. See what he did to Atiku. See what he did to Obasanjo. If you put him in power office, you are going to run into trouble with him. But that was it. But was that in Nigeria's interest? Let the man be there. Let him solve our power problem. But if the man solves our problem, that makes him eligible for presidential nomination. So that was why the man was taken out politically.
All right.
And nobody wants to be taken out politically.
All right. Come